Everyone dies, Nick. But not everyone needs to fear death. If you abide in me, you'll be stepping free from this fallen world and into glory.
Is that what heaven's like? Glory?
It's more than glory, Melissa. It's peace and love and joy. Can you imagine living in the fullness of the warmth of God's light? There are no words in the human vocabulary that can describe it. It's a place where there is no suffering. It's a place where every tear is wiped from your eyes. There's no sadness. There's no pain. And you know, Melissa, one day you and I will walk on the streets of gold and we'll talk about this night together.
What about me, Jesus? Will I walk the streets of gold?
Nick, that's completely up to you. Melissa made her decision on the 232nd day of her 17th year. That was her birthday into my kingdom. Why don't you tell Nick all about it? Tell him why you sought me.
I'd like to hear it.
So would I.
Well, I was, depressed. The guy that I'd been dating, broke up with me, so it was all I could do. So I would, come home and just sleep and cry and sleep and cry and eat. It got so bad that I was, thinking about taking my own life. I, stole a bottle of painkillers from my mom's house and was planning on taking them that night and going to bed and never waking up. And, the phone rang. For whatever reason, I picked it up. And it was a friend from work. And she was a Christian. And she would always talk about God and the Bible. And she said she was gonna come pick me up and take me to a movie. And I thought, why not? So half an hour later, I was sitting in a movie theater. And it was packed. It turned out it was like a Christian film festival. And this movie was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. It was as if the message was directed at me. And I remember tearing up. Yeah, I couldn't help myself. At the end of the movie, a man went up to the front and began to speak, and it felt like he was talking to me, you know, personally. He talked about God's forgiveness, eternal life, and how this place we called planet Earth was only temporary. And that how our real home was in the kingdom of heaven. And that I would live there eternally if I would surrender my life to him. You know, I can't quite explain it, but something was happening to me right then, right there in a theater. He then said, whoever would like to commit their lives to Christ, to get out of their seats and go to the front.
And the most important decision you ever make in your whole life stands before you right now.
And so I did. I felt like a whole new person that very second.
Come unto me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Did you find that rest?
Yes. Looking back, I can't believe I was, you know, gonna take my life over some guy that had broken up with me.
Melissa, I have so much more in store for you, too. If you trust me. There'll be times when I ask you to do things you may not want to do.
I don't understand.
You can't marry Paul
But I love him.
Well, I shouldn't say you can't because you can. But you shouldn't. It's just not my desire for you, Melissa.
But I love him.
Melissa, you have a very tender heart. How many guys have you fallen in love with since you were 16?
But he loves me, too.
Melissa, it's just not my will for a couple to be unequally matched. Paul doesn't believe in me.
What if we got married and I made it my mission to save him? I could do that.
Melissa, do you love him? Do you really love him?
Yes, I do.
Who do you think loves him more, you or me?
You do, obviously, but...
Melissa, Paul doesn't feel about you the same way you feel about him. He hates his assignment up in Winnemucca. He's lonely. And right now, he thinks that you're exactly what he needs. But 2 years from now, when you're back in LA, he's gonna want something more. Something you can't give him. He's gonna grow to resent you. And you know what he's gonna resent most about you? Your faith in me. That will still be the biggest difference between the two of you. So instead of being the instrument that draws him to me, you'll actually cause him to turn the other way. Oh, Melissa, isn't it more important that he loves me than loves you?
Will he believe in you?
In time, yeah, he will.
Well, then, maybe then we could...
Melissa, I promise you, by then you won't even want to entertain the possibility. Remember, I have many wonderful things in store for you.